Good morning, folks. How are you all doing? You can tell from probably my face and the lighting, it's still very early morning here in NZ, 6:27. Not that early. I've only just gotten out of bed, had some breakfast, had some coffee. Hope you're all doing good. Sitting down to watch Wales and South Africa, and I haven't seen any of the games thus far today. So don't know the result of New Zealand and Italy. I'm sure it was a famous Italian first ever win over the ABs. I haven't seen Ireland and Japan, and I haven't seen England and Tonga. If you want to do me a favor, then you could put a flurry of different scores into the chat, incorrect or correct ones, so at least I have a bit of doubt in my mind as to what those scores actually were, because I'm sure at some point people will be asking, hey, did you see Japan beat Ireland 27-24 or something like that? I don't know. But anyway, hope you're all doing good. I'm still stuck at the anthems at the moment. South African one's just been, and we're just witnessing the end of the Welsh one. See, old Thomas Francis is still rocking a pretty good mullet. USA game is on Flow Rugby, so that's a paid one. That's from Alexis. I thought you didn't see it. How did you know the exact Japan score? I don't know. Yeah, it must be just a gift. It's just a gift. What did I say? You've paused your coverage so you're in sync the joys of Amazon Prime. Yeah, I don't know if I've got the same broadcast as Amazon Prime or not. I've got, I think, Royal Nugent as my commentator. He looks to be on his own rather than like a full commentary team. Hope you saw the update for Fiji, Spain. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen a thing. Haven't seen All Blacks, Italy. Haven't seen Ireland, Japan. I will watch them all throughout the day. Obviously, I'll watch France and Argentina next because that'll be live, and then I'll just catch up on everything else. If you haven't seen the AB's game, it was a really good game. I hope so. I will definitely be watching it. Yesterday, I took my kids to the Botanic Gardens with my missus. I took my kids to a park. I made them breakfast. I took them out for dinner. Got them little hamburgers and stuff. I invested the entirety of yesterday pretty much with my children in the knowledge that I wasn't going to see them very much today. So there you go. It's Andrew Cotter who's commentating. Okay, maybe I'm just getting confused. Maybe I have a different broadcast? I could just be wrong. I've just had kickoff underway, folks. Damien Willems has taken the first touch, and I am at 10 seconds right about now. Dad Day, Mr. Welshman. It is indeed Dad Day. Love, Mum, the kids are not up yet, so I am keeping my voice a little low because my son's bedroom is right behind the TV. So yeah, fingers crossed they sleep late today. But yeah, pretty much as soon as this game's over, I'll be making them breakfast again before I watch the French game. I'm ahead of you. Now you guys know the joys of streaming. That's why I'm always behind you guys, because I am generally streaming rather than watching on terrestrial TV. Streaming is always bloody slow. It always feels weird when I'm here in New Zealand watching games and the games are in New Zealand and you guys in Europe are ahead of me. Or wherever. Dan Bigger with a nice take. Right, Wales have actually got the ball in Springboks territory. What can they do with it? Did I hear what happened in the South African hotel? No. What happened in the South African hotel? Allard. Oh, that's going to be a turnover. Well done, Springboks. Willems has a run and an offload. Man, that's ballsy stuff from the guy who doesn't usually get a heck of a lot of game time. Didn't make a mistake either. They got evacuated out at 4 a.m. Was there a fire alarm or something? High ball early, not surprising. Knock on from South Africa. Wales a chance to clear their lines. Tentative stuff early. Hollywood man, how's it going? It was bonfire night yesterday. Fire alarm, right? Yeah. We've had fireworks the last couple of days as well because of Diwali and Guy Fawkes. April Tui and Novmum, how are you two doing? I think Novmum's been up since like 2 o'clock in the morning, so she's probably feeling pretty knackered. Fleshin's trying to act like this game's just a friendly. Right. Let's see how long you can keep that up because I know you're not neutral. It's been a pretty intense first 3 minutes. We haven't seen kind of any stoppages. Herschel Yankees put in a pretty good box kick, and damn Bigger just got smashed. But he didn't get turned over. Or did he? No, the Welsh just managed to keep that one on their side. Bloody hell. Someone pulled it to wake them up, you reckon? Yeah. I know in I think some places in South America, maybe it was like Argentina or something, where the fans will gather outside the hotel and like sing. That might be for football, but I think it's happened with rugby before. To deliberately try and wake people up, give them a bad night's sleep kind of thing. Finally finished your teen's bedroom with the wallpaper. Nice stuff. Joseph, I haven't seen the Ireland and Japan result. So I will answer that question later, I guess. I've been really lazy and I slept through all the games until this one. I plan on watching them on demand pretty much for the entirety of today. Time check, Mike. We are at 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Wales have just won a breakdown penalty and kicked it into touch around about halfway. No worries, Joseph, man. If I didn't want spoilers, I would get up and watch them live. But I don't know the score. So you could have been being facetious and your team may have got beaten, hence why you're asking me you're petrified, or your team could have demolished Japan. So I really don't know. Plus, people told me a bunch of random scores earlier, so genuinely still in the dark so far. James, mate, how am I doing so early? It's like 6:35, so I'm not too bad. Like I've got natural light as the sun starts to come up, so it's not like I'm sitting here at 4 in the morning. But yeah, kids are still a bed. That's the main thing. Am I going to watch the Fiji game? I will try. I'll see if it's on Sky. I'm assuming it is. Haven't seen the Ireland game. Haven't seen England and Tonga. Haven't seen New Zealand, New Zealand, Italy. Haven't seen anything. So yeah, that's the plan for today. The main way I usually get spoiled is two ways, actually. Even more than like people commenting on the live streams is when I go to look up the stats, they have all the games listed. So it's kind of like you've got to blur your eyes, look for the logo of the game you want to see the stats, and then click that one. Sometimes it's my dad who will call me up, and literally the first thing out of his mouth is, "Man, did you see the All Blacks smash them 64-12?" Not even hello. And then actually sometimes commentators in later games will spoil the previous games. But yeah, my dad's pretty notorious for that kind of stuff. I remember once being like in the last 10 minutes of a really intense game, I got his phone call and he just spoiled it for me. And I was like, God damn you. That was the Six Nations one. I remember that. It's time difference, nobody else. There's nothing anyone can do, Jizz. Exactly. And honestly, ultimately, if you want to avoid spoilers, absolutely, there is one absolutely surefire way of doing it, and it's just get up to watch it. I wanted to go to bed, so I rolled the dice, right? I did used to get a lot of people saying that I always put the winning team's picture in my thumbnails, and I shouldn't do that because it's spoilers. So, Reece Samet. Oh, close. Reece Samet looked like he might have been in there, but far out. Defense from the box got him into touch. Not an easy guy to stop from that kind of range. Let's have another look. Tompkins, long ball. It was Jenkins, and then he steps Mapimpi, but Khaleesi and Herschel get him close. Richard, mate, it's been pretty tentative. Wales have won a couple of penalties at the breakdown, which is encouraging for Wales, which I know you're Welsh. If you're a South African fan asking, I would say that'd be concerning. But there you go. It just depends which side of the fence you're on. That being said, Crocker Smith won a really nice turnover before as well. So the South Africans are competing heartily at the breakdown. Shonak, how's it going, man? Who's captaining for Wales with Ellerman Jones out? I think it's Jonathan Davis, mate. I think it's Jonathan Davis. Vastly experienced guy in his own right. Right, we have some points on the board. Am I going to use my finger to clean the whiteboard, or did I bring my little cloth? I guess it's my finger. Three points to nil after 10 minutes, folks. Morning, Mike. For all you guys who have just joined in, I haven't seen any of the other games. Haven't seen a thing. Don't know England, Tonga. Don't know Wales, Ireland and Japan. Don't know All Blacks, Italy. So yeah, haven't a clue. I've been asleep. Rugby feared sleep, I know. Unusual. Wales have just done a kind of coach killing thing and then conceded a penalty straight from the restart. So it's probably about to be 3 points apiece. Let's hope he's got on his kicking boots. Exactly. He shouldn't miss this one. Surely not. What the hell did I do with that cloth? I could have sworn I brought it. No? Am I sitting on it? What's the bet I'm sitting on it? No, that's a jacket. He's nailed it. Hopeless. Who's running this outfit, eh? Using his fingers to clean the whiteboard. Goodness sake, eh? A couple of energy drinks and you were sweet at 2 a.m. Honestly, if I didn't have kids, I would have been up. Something about having kids changed my life. That being said, Novmum's got kids and she's still doing it, so it's just excuses. Who's showing this in New Zealand? It's on Sky Sports, which is our standard broadcaster for 90% of the rugby. And it's an Irish commentator. Oh, Reece Sammut was close there again. He probably had Mapimpi in the air, but he couldn't grab it. It's gone into touch. I thought it was Ron Nugent, but Jezza told me it's somebody else. But it's a solo Irish commentator by the sounds of things. Oh, my poor wife. One of the kids is up. I think it's my daughter. I'm hoping I haven't woken them up. It's quite possible. It's just naturally waking up this time of day. Or is Andrew Cotter on Amazon? So I potentially do have Royal Nugent. Can't find it on TV in Los Angeles. Ted, it's on Flow Rugby in the States, which is a paid service. Oh no, it's not a solo commentator. He has got a is that Sophie? What's her name? He's got a kind of co-commentator able to help out. Oh, Damien Willems is going off. Jeez, I don't know what's going on, folks. Sounds like Royal. Okay, maybe it is Royal Nugent. Maybe Royal Nugent's commentating us. Go. Okay, getting confused, mate. Probably my fault. 6:30 in the morning. Crawled out of bed. Coffee, toast. I don't know what's up and what's down. Bigger is lining up a shot straight out in front, but the ref's still standing in the way while we get medics off the field. It is absolutely piddling down. Damn, Bigger slotted that one. Where the hell's that cloth, man? Oh. I'm sitting on it. Honestly. Who runs this show? Needs a right rocket. Have you just dropped the restart? No. You haven't just dropped the restart. Oh, come on. It's early in the morning, I know. But I do try and be at least slightly organized. Apparently not. Hopeless. Anyway. Horrendous commentary on Sky, Alexis. I'm kind of fortunate that when I do the live streams with you guys, I don't hear much of the commentary. And I don't think I miss out on a lot. sometimes. A lot of the times the insights that you guys are dropping in the chat are actually better than what I've got on the audio. So there you go. Happy days. That's all right. If anyone's newly along, I haven't seen any of the games. So wait and see. I'll watch them later in the day. Don't apologize for anything. I would have gotten up if I was, I don't know, not lazy. Or maybe if I didn't have two kids who like to get up at around, same time as the bloody sun. Simon, man, how's it going? God, what time is it for you? It can't be a good time. 1 o'clock? Almost 2 o'clock in China. Rain doesn't bode well for a 16-point South African victory, true enough. Been a while since South Africa won in Cardiff. Yeah. I'm trying to think out whose injury list is longer. I know both sides have got a few guys out. I think it's Wales's, but I could be wrong, eh? They got Alan Wyn's out, Tipperick's out. Dylan Lewis is out. Ken Owens is out. But like the Boks have got like Snyman's out and Peter Steff's out. Faf's out. There's a lot of guys out, eh? Leinster were playing. It was a very Leinster looking Irish side, to be fair, although I haven't seen the game, so I'll see how they do. They're going to take a shot. It's about to be 6 points apiece. 2:50 p.m. in Jamaica. That's a pretty sweet time. I think the day's worked out pretty well for you then, eh? That would have been a morning and then an afternoon, evening of rugby. Roof's not closed due to COVID rules. True. Keep it an outdoor event, eh? Oh, Villy's the water boy. That doesn't look right. He doesn't look right in the water boy's bib. Some guys look natural. Villy doesn't look right. That doesn't fit him properly. Anyway. Right, it's 6 points apiece. Sides are exchanging penalties at the moment. We're almost at 20 minutes, man. It's 17, almost 18. Time is flying. Living just outside London, I've had snacks for all day rugby with blankets. Nice. I've had blankets because I've been in bed all day. Well, and I said day, all night. Standard sleep. Went to bed just before 11. Got up at 6. Had some coffee and some toast. And I plan to watch this, then Argentina and France, and then probably go back and watch New Zealand, Italy, and then Ireland, Japan, and then England and Tonga. That's a lot of, I'm not going to see much of my family today. What can I say? I have prepared them. Mentioned earlier. My wife's well aware. Tell me more about these snacks. Yeah, Mike, what was the deal with the snacks? This is automatically more competitive than last week so far, Richard. Yeah. No, it's it's still early days. It's only like just before 20 minutes. I know a lot of people were saying it was going to be a massive blowout. And last week I said I thought it would be competitive, and they ended up being a blowout. So I could still be wrong, but I feel like it's not going to be a blowout. If I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. But I do hope it's going to be a competitive one. These sides love a wee arm wrestle. Jaffa cakes, chicken dippers, chocolate brownies, and curry for dinner for Joseph. Sounds like quite a day. And it's another penalty. Penalties conceded so far is 7, and we've only had 20 minutes of rugby. That's a fairly high rate of penalties being conceded. Antonio made it better late than never. Good to see you, mate. I am late in that this is the first game I'm watching today. So don't feel bad about it. Holy sugar. Steve Smith. Bro. Holy moly. Long time no see, man. How you doing? 100 Aussie dollars is a sugar load of money, man. Can't wait for the Australia-Scotland match tomorrow become such a great rivalry. Yeah, great rivalry that hasn't been reignited since 2017. Hope you're all well, brother. Keep up with the good content. Nah, mate, I am phenomenally well. I'm better now. But yeah, bro. Like I said, I think if you weren't here earlier, I spent the whole day with the family yesterday, getting out and about and going to parks and stuff because I was like, I've got like 10 hours of rugby to watch on Sunday. So my parents are going to come over later and play with the kids and stuff while I sit down and watch rugby. So at least my missus is not abandoned. So I've planned it out pretty well. But cheers, man. I look forward to the game tomorrow. That one's on at like 3:15 over here. So it's going to be a horrendous time for you as well. But as always, thank you kindly. April 2 has had fireworks in her neck of the woods. Yeah, we did have some as well, to be fair. Oof. Tony's watching his fifth game today. Yeah, I'm still on my first, but I'll catch you. I will catch you at some point. Imagine how good Franz Steinhanger would have been if he'd never cut his long hair. Do you reckon that was kind of part of the secret to his powers? Wales have just been given what would be described as a warning after a 5-meter line out, taking the man out in the air. So, yeah, South Africa's going to get another crack from close range. Mike's only on his third game. I would call you a lightweight, but the fact that I'm on my first game means I can't really say anything, eh? Black Ferns play tomorrow? Yeah, true. Black Ferns playing England after getting a hiding last week. Right. Maul defense from Wales looks solid 5 meters out. But Bongi's still trucking it up. He's peeled off. Has he? Yes. Gets it to Creel. If you can hold South Africa here, that's a big psychological boost for Wales because South Africa from 5 meters out, they love a try. Who doesn't? Yeah, your defense so far, Elliot, is going good, and they've won a turnover. Like I said, big psychological boost there. Was that Ellis Jenkins who got over that one? Impressive. Impressive. Can you do that for 80 minutes? If you can, you'll be looking good. First, you got to stop the maul, which they did, and then you got to win something to the breakdown, which they did. So, yeah, pretty massive stuff. Massive moment. Good for the momentum. One turnover in 24 minutes. Yeah, they'll need more than that for sure, Simon. That's a bit of an arm wrestle so far, but yeah, we'll see. See, the Welsh in me is making me put that jersey on for this. That's an interesting theory, Steve. Look at Wayne Pivac. He's pumped. I think realistically, it was me in a bit of a haze at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I just went, which jersey? Just grabbed one. And red probably stuck out a bit more than green. Mapimpi looks like he's never played in the rain. He played in the old Pro 14 for the Cheetahs, didn't he? So he would have been to Europe during some wet times. Oh, on the full. Error. That's another shift of momentum towards Wales. It was only just outside from young Herschel, but it was just out. Thomas Williams did well to leave it, judged it well. Thought they were banning red against green, I think from a couple years. Was it next year or 2020? Was it 24? I can't remember. Yeah, it's not coming in for a couple of years, like Tony says. Surprised Eden Park only has a capacity of 50,000. I think it should be a minimum of 65,000. All Blacks need a new stadium. The awkward thing, Patrick, is that it sits largely empty for the majority of the year. They did expand it to like 60-something for the 2011 World Cup, but it was partly temporary seating, and then they took it back down. So, yeah. It just looks terrible, though, because it's like 50,000, but when the Blues play, it's like 10. And 10's not too bad, but it looks terrible on camera. They do need a new stadium, which is like one with expandable seating or something. I don't know. Seeing red woke me up and stirred like a bull, Steve. Not sure about that. Do they play cricket at Eden Park too? Actually, Richard, you're right. They do play cricket at Eden Park, but it's a terrible ground for cricket because it's a freaking square. The boundaries on some sides are so short that it's a joke. It's a joke, really. Hanjo's not enjoying the kicking from the base of the ruck stuff. Yeah. Right. It is 9 points to 6, folks. The scoreboard is moving along in threes. Are we going to see a try in the first half? Oops, sorry, Wales. Someone said Willems is out. Okay, who's gone to fullback? I did notice him go off earlier, but I didn't see if he'd come back on or not. Who's on the bench? Elton. For Frans Steyn. Is Frans Steyn gone to fullback? Or if they moved Jesse Creel? I don't know. They got options. Steyn, right. My daughter's definitely awake. My poor wife. That's going to be playing with soft toys for about the next hour and a bit. I think the new All Black Stadium would have made New Zealand more attractive to tour to. Patrick, they probably should have built one, mate, for the World Cup. They were debating it in 2011. Do we rejig Eden Park, which is cheaper, or do we build a new stadium? If they built a new stadium, They probably could have built it outside a residential suburb, because Eden Park can't be used for concerts and stuff much because it's in a residential area. So it's too much of another penalty for the Welsh. It's unable to be used for heaps of events because of residential regulations or some crap. So basically, they can only hold so many night events a year, and it's pretty much all taken up by sport. So they don't use it for anything else. Whereas, if it had been set up properly, they could have built a new one. Preferably used like expandable seating, so keep it small for like the Blues, put the Warriors there, the league team. Keep it expandable for the All Blacks. Adjustable for concerts. Like if you've got a proper modern stadium, they could have done it, but they went with the cheap in the short term option, which was just to rejig Eden Park. So we're kind of stuck with it. And it loses money every year. It loses tons of money. The council has to bail it out every year or every few years. As much as it's like the home of rugby in New Zealand's got a great test record and stuff, it's financially a bit of a stinker, unfortunately. Why didn't I go live for the ABs? It's me, mate. It was 2:00 in the morning and I was in bed. So I haven't seen it, unfortunately, mate. Haven't seen Ireland, Japan, All Blacks, Italy, or England, Tonga. I will watch them later in the day. The fact that nobody has been saying, holy crap, did you see Italy get their first win over the ABs, means I probably didn't miss a historic first win for Italy. You can generally tell. High tackle advantage. So we may see another penalty for Wales. Is the ref going to want to have a look at this? Yes, Tompkins is looking a bit groggy. Jeez, I was watching them both at the same time. I've been known to do that as well. But interestingly, Sky in New Zealand, if you try to stream both at the same time, sometimes blocks you. It shuts one down, like you're only allowed to watch one game at a time, which kind of sucks. Haven't watched anything else yet either, says April 2. He started with England Tonga, but got annoyed after the Tonga yellow. I haven't seen that one, April 2, but I'm assuming, again, no one's saying, like, holy crap, did you see Tonga get their first win over England? So, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. I know the result without knowing the score. Just come back from Spain, Fiji. That was fun. Have a good day. Thank you, Dark Polar, mate. I don't know the score on that one either, to be honest. I know that Fiji didn't pick their kind of full strength lineup, right? But then they had was it Lavani Bodia, pulled out to get some medical treatment and then ended up playing for his club? Ox kind of got a little bit of a swinging arm up there. Did he catch him on the throat or did he catch him on his arm? He's caught him on his forearm high. Probably Nick Tompkins is lucky that the pass was up around his head, so he didn't. So he had something up there for him to hit. No foul play, says the ref. Yeah, he's just got him around the arm. So Nick Tompkins is lucky that his arms were high. Maybe Ox is lucky too, but I think it's going to be play on. And I agree when you guys are saying this crap takes too long. Too much time off. Agree. Still looking. They found a block after 3 minutes of looking. I know. Amazing. Come on. How about I just play on? They feel like, maybe, Richard, they feel like if we've stopped it this long, we need to find something to justify the stoppage. Oh, it's going to be a yellow card? Come on. Just for the number of penalties, though. What? Oh, come on, man. Come on. Had they had a yellow card warning at this point? Alan's happy with it. Not for the high shot. Yeah, it's not for the high shot at all. It's for taking the man out and just the number of penalties conceded. I suppose like the penalties conceded count is high for how long we've been, but I don't know. And it's a penalty. So it's 12-6, and we've got a man advantage for the next 10. Yellow's harsh, but can see what's been given at the same time. I mean, I like seeing 15 on 15, so I would have maybe liked to have seen a final warning, but there's sometimes I'm equally one to get peed off when the refs don't just yellow card them. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, far out, you gotta follow through, refs. So refs can't win. How similar are these two teams, says Fleshin? It's a bit of an arm wrestle so far, isn't it? We're already 32 minutes in. We haven't really looked like scoring tries. South Africa from their 5-meter maul and Lewis Rezamet potentially for the corner are maybe like the two closest we've seen. Otherwise, there's not been a lot. He already gave a warning. Okay, Ellen, I must have missed that. Maybe that's one of the drawbacks of not having the TV very loud. I could probably just turn it up now because my kids are clearly awake. I'm not fooling anybody, but then it might get picked up on the microphone. I wouldn't want to get in trouble with Sky. Amazing to see some rugby back with fans. Honestly, AY, it's a weird one because last year when Europe and much of the world was in lockdown, here in New Zealand, we were going, look at us. We got Super Rugby back with crowds. Look at us. Ha, ha, ha. And everyone was like, wow, isn't it amazing to see rugby with crowds? And the atmosphere was visibly better than any games that were held without crowds. And now I'm sitting here in lockdown for the last 2 months watching you guys have big old crowds. So swings and roundabouts. Damon Dale Ended has had a nice break. So South Africa are on the front foot, which they definitely need, seeing as they got the man down. They want to deprive Wales of any chance to play with this extra man. Hell of a game, says Owen. Yeah, man. Oh. Yeah, Wales need to get the hell out of here. Since that yellow card, the Boks are fired up. Although my stream has just crapped itself. I got nothing. Why have I got nothing? Come on, go. My stream's stuck. Okay, get rid of the phone. Go to the app. What's happening, folks? Damon Delander made a big break. The Springboks lost the ball. Wales were on their own line about the box. Kick it out. I haven't seen anything since then. Mapimpi was unlucky. I did see Mapimpi and the ball falling to ground. All right, let's see if I can get this back going. Right, I'm back up and running, and the Springboks guy's on the ground. Right, Mapimpi knocked it on. I saw that. What happened after that? That's when it just switched off. Like the Wales guys were setting for a box kick. Injury stop. Okay, well, that's actually kind of convenient because I missed the whole thing. Grubber, Mapimpi. Close. Trevor, don't be injured, man. You always get injured when you start. You need to be the bench guy. They don't get much difference in the minutes, but I swear Trevor always gets injured when he starts. Right. Another chance for South Africa. Line out just outside Wales is 22. I've switched to my TV now, so I may actually be behind some of you guys. I'm at 34.50, and the Springboks Maul is trucking along. Springboks have got advantage, so they should get at least 3. But they need to have a throw. Kwaka. This will be back for the advantage, surely. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Daniel's at 35.25. I'm not quite there yet. I'm at 35.20. So it's kind of back to normal service where I'm slightly behind you guys. Maybe Wales are going to get a warning. Rev's looking for Jonathan Davis. And Thomas Francis is going like, I know all us Welsh guys look the same, but not me, mate. Oh, at least he's consistent, I guess, because the Welsh were warned earlier, if I remember rightly, right? But that was ages ago. I don't know. It's consistent. It's 14 on 14, folks. Fleshin says it's BS. Steve can hear my kids. Yes, that's definitely my daughter. My son likes to sleep in. My daughter likes to get in at the crack of dawn. Get up at the crack of dawn. Come into our room. Here we go. Is it going to be a Springboks Maul, or is it going to be more of that magnificent Welsh defence? There's a Welshman on the ground. It's a precarious position to be on with several hundred kilos of Springbok about to come over here. They've spun it. Tail end there. Tompkins has got him. They need to get around the corner. Bongi. They've got him as well. Kwak is holding on to Thomas Francis. Oh, intercepted. Go, Johnny. Nah, Jesse's got it. Crazy stuff, folks. Man. That's back for a penalty for the Welsh defence. Folks, it's bloody good this evening, isn't it? It's very good. Heinrich, mate. Good evening, sir. Good morning. Yeah, man. Jenkins just picked his pocket and then got high tackled for his troubles. Jeez, he's man of the match so far, isn't he? Far out. That penalty kind of gets them out of dodge for a while. Yeah, good morning. You can probably see that it's still a bit murky, but the sun is starting to come up slowly but surely. When Pivac's turning out to be a decent international coach after a rocky start. I forget how to pronounce your name. Fian. Yeah, rocky start is certainly right. People were calling for his heads. I went back and looked at the comments on a video from 2020, and Welsh fans were not happy. Put it that way. And Richard, yeah, it is really good to see Jenkins back. He has been phenomenal in this game. But Hanjo says, horribly wasteful for South Africa. Yeah, it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, isn't it? South Africa's had their chances. Wales has been able to snuff them out thus far. 2 minutes left in the first half. Richard is still not sold on Pivac. Yep. This will be a good tester for him. To see where his squad is at. What a kick from Josh Adams. Are you kidding me? No angle. I don't think he actually kicked that out. But it just bounced out, just dribbled out. No angle. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Richard, they did get trounced by the ABs, but I mean, they did that to Australia, and then Australia bounced back with 2 wins over South Africa. So it's kind of hard to gauge at the moment, eh? Josh Adams, Ryan, is an absolute human leg. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Is the number 1 ranking up for grabs during the Autumn Internationals, Craig? It absolutely is. If South Africa were to win this one by 16 points, I do believe they would take the number 1 spot from the All Blacks. And it's a South African penalty for the Welsh guys not releasing. So Paul Williams has been busy with the with the whistle. The ref's been busy with the whistle. 15 points. Is it 15? Why do I think it was 16? Reece Emmett's not happy. It's a bit you ain't taking the quick tap. You never know. Big Eben could just do something to surprise us all. Box and the Welsh have very similar style of footy, Dwayne. Their games tend to end up being like they say, exchanges of penalties, or at least have been based on last match. It was the ultimate. Zama is playing, Ryan. Yep. He was left out last week because he was still playing for Gloucester. Pollard has nailed that penalty, so we go in to halftime with a 3-point difference. Now, the challenge for me is to get my phone to find the halftime stats without seeing any of the other scores, which tends to mean deliberately blurring my eyes to I got one bad eye, which kind of makes it easier. I just look for the logo. There it is. Oh, No, I clicked on Romania, Uruguay. Okay, let's try that again. There it is. Goodness me. Spam. What? And you're gone. Better than Wales after last week, Jezza. Yes. I do like a close game, and this one so far, pretty close. Mr. Watchman, generally I use ESPN, actually. They're pretty good. They tend to have most of the games. They do match stats, they do player stats. They get their stats from Opta, and a lot of the sites use Opta, so it's kind of pretty consistent with everything else. Six Nations doesn't use Opta. They use AWS, so their stats, they measure them differently. So some will be the same, like, I don't know, like lineouts taken and I don't know, what else? Knock-ons, penalties conceded, but some stats like run meters, they don't measure it the same way. It's way different. Possessions 50-50, territories 52-48 to the Welsh, so it's pretty close. What's the penalties conceded? That's the one I want to see. Penalties conceded 7-9. So at this rate, it'd be 14-18 at half at full time, which would be a pretty massive penalty count. If you get into 30 penalties, that's freaking huge. Both sides are tackling at 93%. Well, one's 92, one's 93. So, yeah. And clean breaks is 1 each. So it's not been a game for kind of open field running. Don't look up the AB's penalty count. You'll be embarrassed. I haven't looked up anything for AB's Italy, Ireland, Japan, England, Tonga. I haven't looked up anything. I'm remaining 100% in the dark on that. Nice and sleazy, man. How's it going? Enjoying this game more than last week's one, I am sure. Looks so uncomfortable. This chair's okay. I just don't lean back that much because I got to look at the chat. I suppose I can read it from here. Am I streaming the France game too? Probably not, man. I'm going to have to get the kids some brekkie. And unfortunately, this is like a living area. So I'll probably not stream that one. At some point, my long-term plan, I want to convert my carport into a garage. And then at the back of the garage, get like a little room with a TV, maybe a little mini fridge, a whiteboard, and that'll be like my studio. But that's a long-term project. I think because Auckland Council's kind of crappy with the bureaucracy stuff, I think it'll take like resource consent, planning permission, all that kind of stuff to convert it into a space where someone's going to spend time. But yeah, basically a 2 cents cave. Like the 10-4-10 setup, exactly. I could do a shed, but I don't really have much land on which to build a shed. So I figured just build a garage and stick something on the back. Because I already have a carport. Just turn the carport into a garage. That's the plan. That's the plan. I need to get quotes and stuff, but man, I need to get some savings. So that's the project. The old 2 cents. Man cave or woolly boy? Exactly right. Exactly right. What do I think of Japan v Ireland? I haven't seen it yet. I'm totally in the dark. People seem to be dropping hints that there was a big Irish win, but I will try to avoid any information until I go watch it. But wouldn't surprise me to see an Ireland win. I think I picked it, but I don't know if I picked it by a heck of a lot. call it the 2 cents bar. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. That's the plan. I mean, that way I would be able to stream games at 2 o'clock in the morning without having to worry about, waking anybody up or anything like that. So might have to come in to use the toilet, but that's about it. How about ABs versus Italy? I didn't see it. I haven't seen it. I went to sleep. Haven't seen anything. This is the first game that I have seen. Time over here, Salman, is 7:28 in the morning. It was a fun match to be at. Had a few drinks. Stadium James, nice. Where's the video editor part of your name, or is that? Turning a garage into a bar. That wouldn't go unanswered. I still plan to leave like the garage part for a car. It would just be like a little room on the back. You know what I mean? That would be the plan. I don't know. I'd have to talk to an architect, I guess. I have no idea about any of the stuff. Get a couple of quotes. None of that stuff will be cheap, but we'll see. We'll see. It'll be an investment in my future. Maybe. Plus, there are bloody cats around here. Then they always walk all over my car and leave footprints over it anyway. So I wouldn't mind having a garage. You can get jailed for ignoring the council. You can lose your house. I know there was one lady here who didn't pay her council rates, like her fees or whatever you want to call it. And the council claimed her house, I think, for the bills. Ellis Jenkins has been immense. I think so far he is man of the match, mate. How good is it to see him back? Let's actually check the player stats. I didn't look at any player stats. Defending. Yeah, they're not going to do him justice because it just says tackles. It doesn't have like turnovers on ESPN, which is one thing they suck at. Man, Lutiaka's made 11 tackles. It's Thomas Francis who's made 7 for Wales who's leading the way. Only just in, but the general vibe is what you need is a shared studio would certainly give you space. Richard, someone was asking if I was going to stream France and Argentina. I said, nah, because it's on at like 9 something here and the kids will be running around and I don't know, like this is the living room. So I don't want to be telling them off to be quiet or anything or asking them to go play somewhere else because they've got their routine. They go have breakfast. They sit down here, they watch like 30 minutes of telly, and then they just kind of play in the living room. So, but if I had a shed or a garage where I could sit in the back, then, they could have the space. And I'd be out there watching the rugby. Everyone would be happier, right? Everybody would be happy. It's a wet stadium this evening. Hope you're well. Nice and sleazy, mate. Yes. We've seen the rain on camera, so I imagine at the stadium it's probably even wetter, but at least she's a close one so far. To send you photos of the summer house your brother and uncle built, or you and your brother and uncle built from scratch. Man, you can't do that over here. Not a chance. You need to get that all approved from the council, unless you're a qualified builder. Finder 22 is a great A for feral felines. I don't mind them too much because I assume they keep the old vermin low. So that's kind of not a bad thing. But I swear, each one of my neighbors has a cat. And one of them, not the immediate neighbors, but one that's a little further away, their one likes to crap in my yard. That one I don't like. If I see that guy, I spray him with water every time. Studio definitely needed Simon. Yes, leave the gear permanently set up. Exactly. I have to pack this up and put it down every time, which is kind of a pain. Turn on the lights and get ready to go. Yes, I agree. I agree. When we bought this place, I would have liked to get a 4-bedroom, but Simon, you will well know Auckland house prices were not conducive to me getting a 4-bedroom. So a 3 it is, which is just enough space. But yeah, hopefully eventually get the old garage or something. They crap in the soil, at least they cover it up. Richard, not always. This black guy, black cat, sometimes just likes to crap and leave it there. I think my uncle had to apply for council permission, but it wasn't a big fuss. I wish I lived where you did, because over here it's a fuss. 1014 is a dead channel, pretty much. Unfortunate big mistake was going to Spark Sports, James. Yeah, they had their proper little studio at home, and then they went to Sky and they got a proper gig, which was awesome. Then they went to Spark, and like, I don't know, because I've never really talked to those guys about it, but I don't think Spark treated them right. Spark didn't really promote their content. Like Sky, I think we've talked about this before, but Sky gave those guys a regular, I think it was half an hour, Monday. I want to say Monday, maybe Tuesday, but I think Monday, a Monday show right before the breakdown would go on. And it was like their kind of analysis on whatever happened at the weekend. If it was Super Rugby, they would do the analysis, or if it was Six Nations, or if it was Rugby Championship. But then Sky didn't get the rights to the World Cup, and then they moved to Spark. And Spark started off promoting their content, but then it just disappeared. And I remember when I had Spark at the World Cup, if you would scroll through all their coverage, because they had heaps of stuff on at the World Cup. They had the games. They had like, behind the scenes stuff in Japan. They had like interviews with former Rugby World Cup players. To find the 1014 stuff, you had to scroll down, 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 like it was buried. No one would have found it. If their KPIs were to get a certain amount of views, they wouldn't have got them, because nobody was going to look that hard for it. No way. No way. Best thing I did, says Simon, was build an all-in-one rig for lights, sound, and camera. Nice. That sounds pretty flash. Converted a spare room into an office, can get a video uploaded in 2 hours start to finish. Man, that's not bad. That's not bad. Richard says you used to watch them along with me. Yeah, I used to watch them as well. And they were really good content. I did send them a message, I want to say like a year ago. And they just said that like the COVID stuff had kind of made it hard to get like sports stuff off the ground, but they were still working on it. So I don't know. It looks like we're not too far away from the second half. So it is still 12-9. There's still a yellow card time to go. My kids are still, at least my daughter's still up. How do you think Ireland, New Zealand is going to go? I need to watch the Ireland game first. I'll have a look at that a bit later. But should be a bit of a ding-dong one. Right, second half is underway. I'll give a time marker in just a tick. We've already got a penalty. Of course, we are 17 seconds in. So it's 40 minutes and 20 seconds. Ox is back on the field. So it is 15-14 with South Africa having the advantage. Wales were only able to score those 3 points during the yellow card. But yeah, like I said, immediately the second half has started with a penalty. Might talk about how come they don't close the roof? Apparently, it's a COVID thing. So I guess it's like an outdoor event, means less COVID restrictions. Dan Bigger puts up a high ball. Who's going to get this one? Franz Stein gets it pretty much unopposed, but then his pass leaves a bit to be desired. AB says Richard are in great form at the moment. They are. The Fozzie doubters are getting fewer and fewer as time goes by. And honestly, I think he's doing actually a very good job of building depth. He's really rotating a lot of players. He's got numerous players in every position who are getting some decent game time, which is pleasing. That being said, some people still hate on him, so there you go. We're blooding enough in this game, says Simon. I want Fussy to play too, but not at the same time as Willemse. You'd rather see him start over Willemse. Yeah. It's a bit awkward, eh? Someone mentioned, was it you that mentioned that he's been like, Willems has been kind of like the project guy for a while that they've been working on, so they don't want to just kind of chuck the newer guy into that. They want to reward the guy who they've put more time into. Oh, maybe that's bad news for Wales because Ellis Jenkins has just gone off. Oh, no, it's only for a scrum, of course, because they need Wyn Jones on. Because Reece Carey's in the bin. Okay, makes sense. Whew. Dime, mate, I am at 42-25. South African scrum has just demolished the Welsh one. Both my kids are now up, I can confirm. So there's probably not really much reason for me to keep my voice down. We have load shedding, so we can't watch. The load shedding thing does seem to suck. I can understand it a little bit in that I can feel your pain because when I lived in China, every now and again, not that often, but sometimes I would see a notice on my building to say, right, on like Tuesday from 12 till 6, you're gonna have no power. Because they would be doing like maintenance or something, like way more than that ever happens here. Like not common, but not rare. Tony's about a minute ahead. I kind of prefer you guys to be ahead actually, because then I'm not the one dropping spoilers. Richard said it is scrappy. It is a wee bit scrappy, but at least it's close. When someone finally gets a try, it's going to be something magic. Or just a maul try. That can be magic as well. Load shedding, Mike will never understand. It's just power cuts. Yeah, in China, it wasn't load shedding per se. It was more they wanted to do something like some maintenance work on something on the grid, or I don't know. They would never say. They would just say maintenance. So sometimes it was the water, sometimes it was the power. So not ideal. Look, Thomas Williams taking 3 years on the ball. Maybe he's just slowing the game down during the yellow card. Not his finest kick. Franz Stein runs straight at Dan Bigger, but Dan's got him. Herschel with a wee box kick. Oh, Johnny McNichol, you didn't need to throw that one. But it's a South African knock on anyway. We have load shedding 2 times a day for 4 hours. Bloody hell. Okay, I never quite had that level of it. Simon considers malls to be wonderfully magic things. It depends. Some of them can be beautiful. Some of them can be ugly. CGM says this game is garbage. If I can be careful, we might be able to see. Let's have a look. If we can see, I'll do it with my left eye because my left eye is kind of crappy. Might not be able to read numbers. Oh, actually, no, we go live scores. Live scores. Don't go results. Go live scores. Here we go. See if we can see player stats for kicks. Thomas Williams has kicked 8 times. Herschel Yankees kicked 11 times. So, yes, there's been a fair few box kicks. Dan Bigger 7, Josh Adams 1, Johnny McNichol 1, Andre Pollard 4, Mapimpi 1, Dale Ender 2, Willems a 2, Stain 1. So, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. Herschel's kicked more than every other South African combined, whereas Thomas Williams and Dan Bigger are kind of splitting the load evenly for Wales. Klitschko says, finally a competitive game. Yeah. I don't know. As I said, I haven't seen any of the other games. I haven't seen All Blacks in Italy, but I'm imagining it's All Blacks by more than a couple of tries. So generally, in terms of my entertainment, I like to watch games which kind of go down to the wire rather than blowout. So I can dig this game so far, even if it's not free flowing. It's a different kind of test, isn't it? Paul, I tried a few Gary Owens, which did nothing yet. Bigger's done a couple as well, hasn't he? Franstein, he's going to put boot to ball. No, Franstein says, enough of this kicking. I'm going to run it. He's still going. Jeez, how old is he? Pollard with a dinking one through for here we go. That's maybe the most fluid bit we've seen. The ref gets out of the way of the ball. Pollard's going to have a run. No. It is back to 15 on 15, by the way. Kerry came back on a few minutes ago. Seven phases. 8 phases. Can the Welsh defence hold again? Reece Carey was trying to get over the ball, couldn't get it done. Vincent Koch. Where's that ball? There it is. Can't take my eyes off it, folks. 10 phases. The ball's slow enough that Wales' defence is able to set pretty well. That one's a bit quicker. Oh, but Franz Stein had a job just to catch that one. He did it, though. 13 phases. Squeaky bum time, Daniel's right. I can hardly... How the hell did Wales get that? Oh, my goodness. How did they do that, eh? And now Wales have won a penalty. Look at the crowd. Mike, I'm at 48.55. Sorry, I couldn't move. I want to see a replay of how the hell Wales got that ball. What happened? What happened? Here we go. Jenkins with the tackle. Don't tell me it was Jenkins again. Holy moly. He just stripped it. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. And yeah, April, so it was a bit slow. The pace of the recycle ball was just a bit slow. Wales's defense was able to get up and just set every time. Ellis Jenkins, absolutely, Richard. He has been phenomenal this game. Nakadu's watching the UK coverage. Dan Bigger's lining up a penalty, and he has nailed it. That's a brutal one for South Africa, man. You go through all that time knocking on the door, and then next minute you're watching the ball sail between the sticks. But what a bit of motivation for Wales. Unbelievable. 15 points to 9. He is digging it out from quite deep in some of those rucks. Yeah, that's true. Great to see Wales. It was a picker player who's essentially a cross between a man. What? Between a man and a ladder. Adam Baird, really enjoying watching him play. Adam Baird is a bit underrated, I think, because he's kind of lanky looking. He doesn't look like he should be a good rugby player. I think first impressions gets him on some people. My kids are having a ball. They've still got to wait 30 minutes for their breakfast. They could come in, really. I just heard my son say, "How dare you," to my daughter. I know it's because he's got a Robin Hood book where the Sheriff of Nottingham always says, "How dare you," to people. Mr. Welshman, the crowd is going wild. Although I can actually hear my children more above the crowd at the moment. Dan Bigger with another up and under. Nothing doing. South Africa's got advantage. How dare you? Here we go. Big Sears having a carry. Gives Thomas Williams the big don't argue. Malcolm Marks. You're right, Herschel Yankees is having to dig that ball up pretty deep, isn't he? These guys need to present the ball better if they can. How dare see, I know. I just think of the Greta meme when you hear how dare you. I haven't seen that meme. I can picture it though. Ellis Jenkins, Leon says, is a monster. Yeah, he's been hungry for some turnovers and tackles and whatnot today, hasn't he? He's been everywhere. Coaches agree Corbuster's coming on. I think April 2 he called for that one. Who's my favourite Wales player, Daniel? Oh, that's a tough one. Who's my favourite Wales player? I mean, I'm quite partial to Jonathan Davis, to be honest, but I don't know. Who's my favourite Wales player? Tipuric when he's fit is one of my favourites. But those are kind of obvious choices, aren't they? Oh, Franz Stein. Franz Stein's going to have a huge shot. God, he's a bit of a unit now, isn't he? I know he's always been big, but it's a bit of meat on that leg. Surely tips, and then I said it. There you go. Only monsters I see are Stein's thighs, and he's still got the boot. Look at him. Look at him. He's focused. It's not raining. He puts boot to ball. He's got the distance all right. What a kick. Oh, my goodness. Far out. It's 15 points to 12. Oh, what a boot. $15-12. Sun is well and truly up here. Wainwright's gone off. Seb Davis is on. Corbus Reinecke's on. Did you know he's more dangerous than climate change? He is a very dangerous customer. Bigger, good under the high ball, but gets flattened for his troubles by Malcolm Marks. Part of the job. Raining cats and dogs. Doesn't look like it. Oh, a bit of a falcon there. It was definitely piddling down earlier. Gavin Henson. Why is there a Gavin Henson reference? Fleshing. Why? Because of the mega boot? Because of somebody's haircut? Right. What are the Boks going to do here at scrum time? Because last time they gave the Welsh scrum a fair bit of trouble. Oh, yeah. A huge scrum. It just flattens the Welsh one. Oh. I can't help but wonder if Dale Ender let that go on purpose so they can kick for touch. Tim, man, how's it going? Tim, I haven't seen your boys play yet. I haven't seen any of the results. This is the first game I'm watching today. I'm assuming it was big wins for Japan, for Tonga, and for Italy, but I haven't seen them. Hope you're doing good though, mate. Favorite Welsh player, Jezza has chirped in with Shane Williams. Oh, and Tim's got JPR. True. Shane Williams was a particular favorite. Pretty wicked step on that guy. Lightning fast. Maul time. The Welsh maul defense, though, has been pretty solid so far. I think they've fallen to ground there. So again, Welsh maul has held. We'll see what happens. The Boks better not run anywhere near Ellis Jenkins. How many minutes left, Sam, mate? I am at 58 and 20, so there's just over 20 minutes left. Springboks have got advantage pretty much straight out, not quite straight out in front. but just on the Welsh 22. So they'll have a chuck of it. And if they don't get it, then they'll have a shot at goal, I'm sure. And here we go. We're going to have that shot at goal. Welsh defense, resolve and defense looks strong today. Yeah. But as with the All Blacks game, it was the final 20 where that kind of shifted, eh? So we'll see. But yeah, today it's been pretty solid D for sure. Jeez, my kids. What are they doing? I've got no idea. Squeaky bum time, says Ellen. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's still a bit of rain coming down. You can see it when you get to the ground camera. Yeah. It is all tied up, folks. 15 points to 15. Oh, Liam Williams has come on. Stain is calling Havoc ball in hand. He's probably looked like the best runner of the entire game, hasn't he? Williams has come on for Nick Tompkins. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm not doing a stream at like 9 o'clock. Because the kids are only going to get louder from here. Yeah, Franz Stain has 48 run meters, which I can confirm is more than anybody else by about 20 meters. Dale End is next with 30. Are we going to see any tries, says Novmum? I will say yes. We will still see a try. Wait, no, Tompkins is still on. Whoever did the graphics got that one dead wrong. It said Liam Williams was on for Tompkins, but no, Tompkins is still there. Tompkins. Go Tompkins. Which players scored so far? Dan Biggar for Wales, Andre Pollard and Franz Stain for South Africa. It's all been penalties. Richard says it would be nice to break them down with a try. I'm sure everybody watching would enjoy to see a try at some point in the game. Franz Stain trying to twinkle his toes on the sideline, but he's a bit big for that now. My wife is trying in vain to tell my kids to be quiet. Now, if I go over there and give them the death look, they will be quiet. I'm tempted, but they haven't had breakfast, so I'll be good. The fact that they're not listening to my wife, though, makes me want to go over and tell them to be good. I will hold off. Fan on the pitch? What are you talking about? Oh, here we go. It's another penalty. Oh, there is a fan on the pitch. What? What? Are you kidding me? What the hell just happened? What? That is bonkers. At least Javo doesn't get in the way of the game. It's back for a penalty for Wales anyway. Throw the guy in jail. What a moron. It is tough, I think, to be in security. I mentioned it in another video. I talked to when I used to work at the High Court. One of my mates there was a like the boss of the security guys who looked after all the guys coming in for like trials, like all the what do they call them? They called them accuseds. And he said like it's really hard because you're watching the courtroom all day and it's boring, boring, boring just watching people. And the person who's going to make the move is like pumped and waiting for the prime moment when you're just switched off. So, yeah, he said it's really hard because you've got to be on the whole time and they only need one moment. So, I don't know. Elton Yankees is on. Does that mean Pollard's off, or did they take somebody else off? It is Pollard off. It's 18 points to 15. Did that go out on the full, or did it just bounce? Looks like it just bounced. Lucky kickoff, Jacob. Yeah. Measured perfectly. Yeah, exactly. Down to the centimeter. Crowd is really getting pumped, aren't they? Don't blame them. But man, Steel Khaleesi's everywhere as well, isn't he? Come on, Thomas. Stop looking at the ref. Get the bloody ball out. Bigger with the up and under. We've seen a few of them today in the rain. If nothing else, looks like the All Blacks are still going to be number one after this game. Not that I'm very fussed about the Rugby World Rankings, but oh man, Corbus Roanoke's got the ball. This is trouble. He wants number one. Thomas Williams got him. Corbus is magic. He is, Simon, mate. He's just so quick. Wasn't his old man like a runner or something, or a sprinter? Or was it a winger? No, he was a winger. He was a rugby player. Mapimpi's over, but was Etzebeth? Was he offside? That looked funny. That looked weird. They're going to have to check something there. I need my brain can't handle what it just saw. My Pimpy's gone over for a try, but how the hell was Etzebeth in that spot that he was in? I don't understand. His dad was a box who was lightning fast. That's right. They're cutting to Etzebeth, who gives the big don't argue, but I just remember him popping up with the ball seemingly out of nowhere. Has it been given? Do I write it on the whiteboard, or are they going to check something? Now, Paul Williams wants to check something. It's going to have to hold on. So if it's knocked back by a Welsh player, then he's going to be... I want to hear what the ref's going to say. Has he played on? He's in front of the kicker. Right. Okay. It looked dodgy, and it was dodgy. Because those guys, because the kick didn't go 10, they need to retire, right? Like if the kick goes more than 10, you don't have to worry about it. Someone can play you onside, but they didn't because the kick was so shallow. I don't know. Someone who has a better understanding of the laws explained that one clearer. No effort to get back. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I know players sometimes don't have to retire if it's a massive kick and your winger just sprints up and plays you on, but when it's that short range, you kind of do have to do it, right? That was a pretty solid kick, wasn't it? Oh, Anscombe's come on. Does that mean Bigger's gone off? Oh, yeah, Bigger has gone off if the graphics are right this time. Especially when the ball balloons straight up in the air. Oh, good defense from the Springboks. They've kept the game alive. No other team needs to compete with the referee as much as the Springboks during a key moment. Brian, you reckon? I reckon every fan probably says the same. Maybe not All Blacks fans. Oh, they just showed a sweet little crowd moment. Isn't Anscombe a Kiwi? He's got a Welsh mum. But yeah, he's born and raised in Auckland, I think. He used to play for the Blues, had a season at the Chiefs, yeah. Richard, yeah, I think you're right. I think his mum is Welsh. Sia Khaleesi and Tane Basham are having words. But yeah, scrum penalties is 4-0. So So Africa's getting some pay from the ref in some areas. It's all a rich tapestry. It all evens out. Anscombe was a Kiwi, won Super Rugby title with the Chiefs. Yeah, he left the Blues, went to the Chiefs, won Super Rugby title, then headed off to Wales. Fleshen also has a Welsh mum, funnily enough. 10 minutes to go, folks. 9.5, really. Kolisi's gone off. Visa's come on. Still only a 3-point game. Kolisi put in a shift. He always does. Thomas, it is 70 minutes and 40 seconds. Nine minutes to go. Win, lose, or draw, Wales have been immense. Yeah, I think Wales have performed better than many people thought they were going to do. And last week I said, I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think Wales will be good. And I was dead wrong. But this week, I also said, I think it could be close. I think I might be right. It's just like guessing the sex of a baby, right? An unborn baby. Of course. If you get it wrong, you can just ignore it. But when you get it right, you need to pretend like you've got some kind of wondrous powers of prediction. So I'm going to go with that. Eight minutes to go. Look at that haircut of the replacement hooker, Mr. Roberts, for Wales. Bradley Roberts, then Ulster, man. There you go. Look at that haircut, though, Jezza, mate. Look at it. What's going on? Why is the game stopped? Who deserves to win? Oh, it's been close, man. It's been very close. South Africa's got a pretty dangerous looking spot for a maul. And this one is trucking along pretty nicely. Uh-oh. You know when the props are running to get back to stop it, it's in for a big old bit of trouble. I think we just got our opening try. Nothing wrong with that one. Malcolm Marx. And he looks pissed off. Malcolm Marx looks, for a guy who just scored a try to put his team in front, he looks kind of miffed. What's up with that? Marx is very good indeed. I will change the score after the conversion. Is it going to be 20 or is it 22? Judging by what you guys are saying, Elton's going to miss this one. Come on, Elton. Surely you're going to get it. How's my stream gotten so far behind everybody else's? Oh, nice. Shanked it. Oh. Good news for the game. Bad news if you're a Springboks fan. Canvas, mate. No, I have not been up since stupid o'clock. This is the first game I'm watching. I've been a proper softie, and this is the first game I got up for. So I'm going to have to sit back and rewatch all the games throughout the day. $18 points to 20. All to play for. 5 minutes to go. Yeah, I know, Simon. That's all right. I don't know why. I could put it back on my phone, but it wasn't doing a good job earlier of it. It was a bit stuttery. 5 minutes to go. Johnny McNichol, pretty glorious take under the high ball. They needed that. They need to get something on the front foot, or do they just keep kicking it? Oh, Watts, Quacker Smith with the rip. They got the momentum now. Surely. Elton Yankees with the kick. Mapimpi's after this one. It's been knocked on by Wales. That's what South Africa do. If you knock it on, they get the ball back. If they get it, they get the ball back. You either take it cleanly or you're in trouble. Elton takes it to the line. I can't take my eyes off the screen again. Basham's going to need to try and work some magic. 6 phases. And South Africa's got advantage. That's going to take it beyond 5. Beyond 5? Beyond 3. What the hell am I talking about? Soft penalty. Yeah, he was not in the way, but he was still there. There's a leg on top of him to keep him in there. So, yeah, that's one of those ones where it's probably technically correct, but if it's your team, you look at it and go, that's BS. Refs are kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't with those ones. Whoa, they're not going for the posts. Okay, but I was going to say, like, if they don't give those penalties, then sometimes players will take the piss and do it on purpose. Laws need to be adjusted for people getting held in. Yeah, it's a tough one. So they're very going for the kill. They are. It's only about 3 minutes to go. Here we go. What can they do here? Do Wales compete? No. They set for them all. So far, so good for the Welsh defence. But it's creeping forward. Malcolm might begin to peel off. Have they got advantage? Here we go, I think. God, the camera angles are changing. I can't tell what's going on. It's gone to ground. Loose ball. Was that Quacker that pounced on that? If it was, he's pretty amazing. This time it's the same thing and the ref doesn't give a penalty for it. He says don't hold him in. It was pretty much the same thing, but there you go. Maybe offside there. They shot up, but the ref doesn't say anything because they hesitated and went back. 7 phases. Two minutes to go. Wales have got a penalty. The game's still on. Who was it that won that one? How the hell did that ball? I have no idea what happened to that breakdown. But anyway, not over yet. South Africa could regret not taking the 3. There's still 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Ellis Jenkins is going off. Mike's almost glad he can't watch. Almost. South Africa not taking the 3 will bite us in the bum. We'll see. Mike says, there's a proper mullet, and he is a Roberts, just like yourself, sir. So there you go. Nick Tompkins is going off for an HIA, I guess. So Jonathan Davis is coming back on. One minute on the clock. All they need is a penalty, says Royal Nugent. In kickable range, he adds, as they in their own, deep in their own half. Ryan, I haven't seen Ireland v Japan yet. That's on my list for watching for today. 30 seconds left, and Wales are still on their own 22-meter line, going backwards. They're going to need a minute. A miracle. And South Africa win the penalty. That's going to be the game. What do they do? Do they just kick it over? Wales was never going to run it 80 meters. This game has not been a game. I would say there's been not a single player who's gotten anywhere near 80 meters of running today. Elton's going to take the shot. It should finish 23 points to 18. Do South Africa go back to the top? I don't believe so. They have not won by enough to topple New Zealand's lead. Wales played well for 70-plus minutes. Yeah, I think it's been a good game. It's been tight. It's not been a real open one, but it's been wet. And, both sides quite happy to kind of kick the threes. France Steyn, huge penalty. So, yeah, France Steyn got man of the match. But there you go. Happy days. Game is done. 23 points to 18. Congratulations to South Africa. Certainly not all doom and gloom for Wales after that, man. That's a good shift. I mean, South Africa beat the All Blacks a few weeks ago, and Wales got a hiding from the All Blacks. So I think it's a good step up. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with that. All right, folks. I've got to. I'll do a quick review of this game. Not too many tries to talk about, so it shouldn't be an exceptionally long one. And then I'm going to watch Argentina and France. Won't be doing a live stream for that, as I mentioned, because I need to feed my children. They've been patiently waiting. And, then I'm going to catch up on all the other rugby that I missed. But, yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for coming along. It's been a good watch. nice, good arm wrestle of a game. And yeah, I will talk to you guys again for another one soon. Take care. Bye bye.